We
Yes.
can see you.
Yes.
Yes.
Good, and you can hear me all right?
Yeah, as long as you use that voice for sure. Thank you so much.
So good. I was so hoping this morning that they wouldn't be mowing the lawn, because when they mow the lawn, it's so loud. Please don't mow the lawn today.
That's so
Okay,
cute.
friends, we'll just wait. We'll wait 1 minute, and then we'll get started. You're going to need today, if you want to take a moment to maybe run to the kitchen and grab a couple of cans, something that's about 2 or 3 pounds. If you have hand weights, that's great. If you don't have hand weights today, and you don't need heavy weight for Pilates, 2 or 3 pounds is plenty. If you don't have hand weights, Chico works really well. Cans of soup work really well. You don't have to use weights, it's optional, absolutely. Something that you might be able to squeeze between your knees, between your thighs. So yoga blocks are nice, if you have them. A little mini ball. If you don't have these things, a cushion, couch, or a wrapped up towel will work really well. So just take a moment just to grab those things. If you have a hard time kneeling, so if your floor is really hard, just make sure you've got a blanket close by for your knees. Okay. Those are the things that you will need today. And teaching to all levels, so I'll kind of layer it for those of you that are a bit newer to yoga or Pilates. Just a quick session today, about half an hour. And of course, we have a pregnancy. We have probably some injuries that I don't know about, so very important. So I'll address some injuries as I go along. And for those of you just joining, my name is Michelle. It's lovely to meet you.
Michelle,
Yeah.
if you could lower the screen to show your we can only see down to your underneath your chest.
Really?
Is there a way to push the thing down so we could just see kind of what you're doing with the weights and the rest of your body?
You can't
Thank
see
you
my
so much,
butt.
Emily, for your feedback. And we actually did a test recording on Michelle's laptop just so that everybody's on the same page. But Jorge will know better than anything. Sometimes technology doesn't agree. So we are going to perfect this thing. This is just our first trial run. Thank you for our patience as far as the tech is concerned. We'll definitely have a wider shot for our next classes.
Yeah, totally. No, I'll figure it out just in case she can move it a touch. But
How about that?
With technology, we
should be good.
What was that, Jorge?
with technology, we need to be positive all the time. So don't worry.
Absolutely. Good mojo. Well said.
Okay, give me a second. Let me just see if
It should be good.
that should be good.
Yeah.
You want to join?
And as long as you speak really loudly, Michelle, just because we're not using a laptop and the microphone's not as big, we can hear you good as long as you speak loudly from the other side of the room.
You got it.
Thank you so much.
You want to say hi?
Family.
Give me a quick feedback right now. Is this okay? Can you guys see me when I'm lying back?
Perfect for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I can see you.
You guys see my feet,
Yeah.
arms?
Something important, sorry, just to let you know finally, is that if somebody else speak louder than Michelle, we're going to lose the image. So please, if you don't mind and you don't have any question, if you can turn off your microphone in order to allow Michelle to explain all the routine, will be great.
Okay. I'm going to speak really loudly today because I'm on my phone and my microphone on my phone is a little bit off. So I will speak as loudly as I can for you. Okay, so we're going to start lying on our back. We're going to start in Shavasana today. We're doing a Yoga Pilates fusion class. So when you're ready, take a moment and lie down on your back. And you just want to let your legs be open, like a little bit wider than your hips. Your arms to the side of the body. And just take a moment just to settle in. Let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. Good. And just take a check. Take a moment just to check in with the body. See where today you might feel some little tightnesses, some stress. Just take a nice big inhale through your nose. Feel your belly rise. And then exhale, open the mouth, let out some air. Inhale through your nose. You can even put your right hand on your belly and just feel the belly rise into your hand. Exhale through the mouth, let out the air. couple more breaths here. Just grounding yourself into the space this morning. We'll take just one more breath here. And then start to take a big good morning stretch. So point your toes, reach your arms overhead, let your ribs and your chest and your belly just stretch for a moment. Maybe shake your hips side to side. Big stretch like you just got out of bed for the second time today. We're going to start to bend into the knees, place the feet onto the mat. Feet will be about hip distance apart. And start to feel heavy through the tailbone, heavy through the rib cage. There might be a little space under your low back where you could fit maybe a little tiny chocolate covered almond or a little grape under there. So that's called neutral pelvis. Take your peace fingers and just start to poke around the bottom belly. Except for Emily, she might not find that right away today, but that's okay. Start to poke around the bottom belly and just start to think of the muscle that tightens when you have to go to the bathroom. You're just kind of holding that in very gently, not too tight. So when you exhale, you might feel a muscle push into your fingers if you imagine kind of holding it in. You have to go to the bathroom. So that's our deep pelvic floor, transverse abdominis. Really good muscle. It's a big one. It wraps all the way around like a corset. Helps to protect your back. It's the most important one for Pilates. Just kind of be aware of that muscle today. Just keep it on maybe 30-40%. Does not have to be too heavy. We'll start to take the arms up into the air and raise the hips up at the same time. Press into the heels. Let the arms come behind you. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back down again. So we're going to go up on the inhale. Inhale through your nose. And then all the way down, exhale through your nose. So a yoga breath right now, in through the nose and out through the nose. And as we raise our hips up, give your bum a little squeeze, press into your heels. Keep all the toes planted on the mat. Your feet should be underneath your knees right now. You're heavy between the shoulder blades. Take one more time here. Inhale up. And then exhale, take it all the way down. Good. This time, we're going to roll up one piece at a time. So start in neutral. So find a heavy tailbone, that little space under your low back. And first, just think of squishing that grape. So ribs and hips pull together. So like press your low back gently into the mat. And then slowly release that grape space again. So imagine a grape under your low back. You're pulling your hips and ribs together, squishing the grape, and then releasing. It's a really small movement. You're not squeezing your bum at all. Your bum is super relaxed. So in Pilates, this is called going from neutral pelvis, where we have a little space under the back, to imprint, where we're squishing the back into the mat. So next, we're going to squish the grape, hold the low back down, start to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the bum, and slowly exhale to come all the way up. You're going to hold it here. And at the top, the knees, hips, ribs, and shoulders are all in line. So tuck your tail under, pull ribs in gently. So there's no back bend. Your spine is nice and straight here. Arms raised into the air. Take a breath. And on the exhale, we're going to scissor the arms. So one arm down, one arm behind you, and then exhale, switch. So these are called arm scissors. We're resting heavy between the shoulders. Think of pulling your bum towards your feet. So you start to feel a little bit of work in your glutes, in your hamstrings. And you're reaching your knees over your toes. It's a really nice way to open the hips and start to activate all the muscles that we might need today. Let's take a couple more. Raise up the arms into the air. I want you to lower your bum maybe an inch or two, and then squeeze and lift it right back up. We're going to go for 8. Lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift for 7. So Pilates breath is an exhale through the mouth. Like a little pursed lip, like you're pushing air through a straw. And it helps to activate that deep pelvic floor transverse abdominis muscle. Go for 4 more. 4. And for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it up. Take a big inhale through your nose. And then exhale, slowly let the spine down. One piece at a time. So the very last thing to touch down will be your tailbone at the very, very end. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. Good. A little wider knees for those of you that have some tight hips this morning. Start to draw some circles around your low back. Nice big circles. reverse directions. Really nice stretch for the low back. So we're going to settle here into the center. And you're going to bring your knees and feet together. If your knees don't come together, this would be a good time to place something between your legs just to give it a little squeeze. Take your hands, press your hands into the front of your thighs and create some pressure here. So you're pushing hands to thighs, pushing thighs back into hands, shoulders relaxed, and now start to tuck your tail. So it's almost like your tailbone might come off the mat a little bit. You're pushing the ribs down, pushing the belly button in, and you're just breathing in through your nose and forcing out the air through a straw. As you inhale, nothing's happening in the belly, it's staying nice and quiet. And then Emily, for yourself, you can be doing just maybe a few more hip rolls. You don't need to stay here very long. Nice and soft through the shoulders, 2 more breaths. So I'm starting to fire a little bit deeper into the belly, into the abdominal muscles here, which we use for yoga and for Pilates. Start to take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, keep your thumbs long. Just place your hands at the base of your skull. Keep your elbows wide, your chin away from your chest. And on the exhale, we're going to lift the head and the chest. It doesn't have to be very high. Think of folding kind of right at the pec line. Gaze at the ceiling. And then inhale, bring it right back down again. Legs are staying still. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to release it back. Really soft, slow movement. There's no jarring movements. It's really gentle. All you're doing here is sliding your ribs and hips together to curl up. Keeping ears in line with the shoulders and supporting your head and your hands. Let's go for 4. Your legs are either together or you're gently squeezing something between your legs. We're getting a little bit of inner thigh contraction here, which is nice. Last 2. And then last one here. All the way down we go. Release what's between your legs. Cross at the ankles. Good. And now if you have any low back sensitivity today, you probably won't rock and roll up. You can roll to the side and meet us on all 4s. Otherwise, maybe a few rocks and rolls today. Try not to hit your head, just go to your shoulders. A little bit of momentum, a little bit of work in the low back. Maybe just one more. And then we'll meet on all 4s, tabletop position. And from tabletop, make sure that your knees are under your hips. Your hands are under your shoulders. Spread your fingers really wide and grab all of the mat with all 10 fingertip pads. Biceps turned forward. We're going to take some cat and cow this morning just to get the spine moving. So feet can be tucked for now or untucked. Okay. Whatever feels good in your feet. Let your belly fall. Roll your shoulders back. Send your tail to the sky. Arch your spine. This is cow pose. And then tuck your tail, round your spine, and push into the floor. That's your cat stretch. So keep the breath now in and out through the nose. Inhale, belly falls. Arch your spine. And then exhale, round your spine. Take a couple rounds here. This is a really nice place to start to find the fingertip pads. Don't do a lot of yoga. It's very normal to feel the wrists. Nice little tricks is really just gripping with the fingertips. Feel like you're pulling your mat apart, left to right. And then we'll come back into the center here. Walk your hands a little bit forward of your shoulders now. And we're going to untuck the toes. And on the exhale, press your hips back to your heels. Start to look forward. On the inhale, we're coming all the way through. Stacking shoulders over wrists. Allow the hips to open. Give the bum a little squeeze. Really try to open the chest here. Squeeze the shoulders together. Careful not to back bend, so keep the rib cage gently tucked in. And again, on your exhale, press your hips back. On your inhale, pull the body all the way through. Just kind of getting yourself ready for cobras or upward facing dogs, downward facing dogs that are coming up today. Let's take a couple more. Exhale back. Inhale forward. So really exaggerate the feeling of squeezing shoulder blades together into the spine. It helps to really release those trapezius muscles, open up the chest. Let's take one more. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Here, take a moment. Perhaps maybe even pushing the top of the feet into the mat, lifting up the thighs and the knees. It would be the upward facing dog. too much, just keep the knees down today. Really pushing into the floor. One more breath. Knees down, knees wide, big toes touch. Stretch your hips back, take your forehead to the mat. This is child's pose, Balasana. Resting pose, feel free to take this pose anytime. Hands below your heart, so you're getting some nice fresh, rich blood rushing to your brain. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Starting to gaze forward, we're going to make our way back up again. This time, knees and feet hip distance, tuck your toes. We're going to really mindfully press into our first down dog, so press your hips back towards your heels. As you reach and stretch your arms forward, biceps turn forward, toes are tucked. Always stay here, you still get that nice stretch in the spine, but start to fire a little bit more now into the legs and the tummy. So we're going to lift up the knees, an inch or so off the mat, and hang here for a moment. Pushing the floor away, really gripping into the floor with the 10 fingertip pads. Head is between my biceps. Everybody very mindfully, slowly press your hips to the sky. Gaze towards your navel. Your feet are about hip distance apart, maybe a little wider. Your hands are the width of your mat. You're going to bend one knee at a time now. Just shake out those legs. Shake the bum side to side. The downward facing dog is not always about straightening your legs. That will come with time. It's more about getting your heart closer to your thighs. So bend your knees if you're tight today. A little bend in your knees, you'll notice your tail will move to the sky a little bit more. Keep pushing the floor away from you. We're going to inhale, lift up both heels. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit or maybe all the way down. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, let the heels come down towards the mat. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, straighten legs. Exhale, heels down. Let's just do one more. Heels up. Knees bend. Legs straighten. And heels down. Start to look forward. That's where we're headed. We're going to walk to the top of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees generously so your belly's on your thighs. Grab your elbows. Relax your head. And ragdoll your spine side to side a few times. Careful not to hold the breath here. You don't want to get dizzy. If you feel like you're getting a little overheated, you can always open your mouth, let out some air. Otherwise, we'll try to keep the breath in and out through the nose. Keep the chin tucked, the knees bent, release the arms, and slowly start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Last thing to make its way up will be the head. As you reach the top, tuck your tail under. Gently, you'll feel the ribcage pull in. Take a moment to roll the shoulders back a few times. And now, palms will face forward. Spread the fingers wide, reach down towards the earth. Pick up all 10 toes, spread them wide, and place them back down on the mat. Check in to make sure you're not back bending, so tuck the tail. And just take a couple of deep breaths here, in and out through your nose. Yoga mountain pose. Really feeling grounded into the earth. Nice wide collarbone. We're going to inhale and reach all the way up. Hold on to the right wrist with your left hand. Good. Again, tuck your tail, reach up, inhale. On your exhale, go ahead and stretch to your left and gently push your hips to the right. Imagine you're between two panes of glass, so not back bending, not forward bending. Get to control how much you pull. Use your inhale to create a little extra length. And your exhale, you might come a little deeper. Right hip stays forward, left shoulder stays forward. Take one more breath. Your next inhale, we're going to come all the way back up. Bend the knees, and then exhale, folding forward. Keep the abdominals in here. Inhale for a halfway lift. That can look a lot of different ways for many people. So halfway lift, either hands on the thighs. Think of your body like a number 7, so straight legs, and then a hinged spine with the ribs in. If you can reach your calf muscles, you'll press your hands to your calves. Eventually, one day, hands to the floor. So that's your halfway lift. Bend your knees and fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your heels to rise all the way up. Tuck the tail, reach up again. This time, hold your left wrist. Inhale to grow tall. And on your exhale, go ahead and stretch your right. Gently push your lips to the left. And just be here for a few breaths. Enjoy the stretch down your side. So we usually tend to have a bit of a stickier side. It's such a nice one to get some space between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. One more breath here. Inhale to stretch. Exhale, we take it a little bit deeper. Inhale brings us all the way back up. And exhale, we're going to bend the knees and fold forward again. Always be aware of the ribs coming in as you fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift, flat back. And the hands. Let's set the right leg all the way back. Knee down for a moment. Might use a cushion for your knee here. Try to untuck the toes. And use scoop or whatever you're using for a yoga block to get a little bit extra height. Hands can stay on the floor, or eventually hands come to your thigh. This is all about opening the right hip. Right hip creases forward, left hip creases back. You're sinking a little bit deeper into your hips here. Good, just breathe. All about that right side psoas muscle. Heavy in your front heel. If you're okay with this, take your arms into the air. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows. The cactusing of the arms. So elbows press back, squeeze shoulder blades together. Lift the breastbone and breathe. One more breath. Next inhale reaches all the way up. Exhale, take your hands down to the floor. If it's not very easy to touch the floor, again, you've got a little block, a cushion, something that you can raise the arm up. Right hand under right shoulder. We're going to sweep the left arm to the left, take a twist here. Like a little more this morning, tuck your back toes, maybe straighten out your back leg. Take a breath here. Gentle twist, right? Careful not to crank the neck. Gaze at the thumb if you can. If that's not nice for the neck, just look forward. Next exhale, let's take it down to the floor. This is the runner's lunge. So the idea is that you straighten your back leg, lift up your back heel, and feel like you're going to run straight forward. If it's too much, just take your knee down to the floor. Let's take one more breath. Lifting belly button away from the thigh. And Emily, you might have your left foot a little bit more farther out to the left to create some space for baby. Next exhale, plant the hands, step back. Your choice this morning, either a plank pose, where your hands are under your shoulders, your heels are lifted, tuck your tail, squeeze your bottom. If plank is not in your practice, take your knees to the floor, please. Either tabletop or a little bit lower hips. Wherever you are, tuck in the ribs. Hollow out the armpits, push into the floor. Take one more breath. On the exhale, touch the knees to the floor. Look forward. Try to lean into your chest and chin. Untuck your toes, straighten your legs. From here, hands under shoulders, elbows in, a baby cobra. Very gentle lift. Feet stay on the mat, shoulders wide. Very light in the hands here. Exhale to lower. One more baby cobra. Inhale to lift. And you're in tabletop position here. Exhale to lower. Tuck into the toes, press up, either tabletop or perhaps the plank. Hold for an inhale. Start to bend your knees, press your hips back, gaze at your navel, downward facing dog. Feels nice, a little shake. Look forward, walk to the top of the mat. Feet about hip distance apart, bend your knees so you can fold forward, belly on the thigh. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Shoulders wide here. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Draw your tail under, reach out. This time, connect the palms to prayer. Gaze toward the thumb, gentle back bend. Good, hands to your heart. Take a moment there. Inhale, reaches up. Connect the palms, gaze up, gentle back bend. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the back, halfway lift. And hands to fingers to the floor, the shins or the thighs. Bend the knees and fold. This time, left leg goes all the way back. And the left knee goes down. Take a moment, right knee over right ankle. Back toes can be tucked or untucked. From here, we make our way up a little higher and sink a little deeper to the left hip. Always start with your right knee over your right ankle. Think of the inner thighs squeezing together, so left hip crease comes forward, right hip crease comes back. When we're ready, we inhale, reach up the arms. And then exhale. exhale, bend the elbows. So this is the goddess arms, goalpost arms, cactus arms. And you're lifting your breastbone to the sky, squeezing shoulder blades together. Take one more breath. Inhale reaches up. And then exhale, take the hands to the floor. Either left hand on the floor or on something to raise up the space in case you can't reach the floor. Strong left arm pushes into the floor. And we sweep right arm to the right and twist. Option to tuck your back toes and straighten your back leg if you'd like. Take 2 breaths here. Twisting always comes from the belly, never from the neck. So really gentle with the neck. Then we take it back down to the floor. Remove the block and then find the floor here. This is runner's lunge. You'll squeeze it in your thighs. Back heel is lifted, your gaze forward. If it's too much, take the knee down. And try to be here for a breath or 2. Getting a little lighter on the fingers. One more inhale. And then exhale, plant the hands, step back. Meeting again, either plank, tabletop. You could all go straight to down dog if you'd like, or take a child's pose anytime. Be here for a breath or 2. Good. Inhale to look forward. And then exhale, touch the knees. Look forward, biceps turn forward. You lower chest and chin down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Firmly press feet to mat. Your choice, either baby cobra or hands go by the ribs. You might push up a little higher, like we did at the start today. Open the chest, lift the thighs and knees. Upward facing dog. Tuck your chin, roll your toes. Press your hips to the sky. Down dog again. Bend your knees, give yourself a little shake. Take one more breath here. And then child's pose. Knees wide. Untuck your toes. Stretch your hands forward. Forehead to the mat. Rest here, please. In this child's pose, I want you to really think of your breath starting right at the base of your spine. And you're breathing in and out through your nose. And the breath travels all the way from the bottom to the top. So it goes through the low lobes of your lungs, the mid lobes, the high lobes, and eventually travels right up into your throat. And on the inhale, you create length in your spine, and on your exhale, a little heavier into those hips. Really nice way to open up the hips, the thighs. Take one more breath here. Head is below your heart. No rush, please. Very slowly, make your way up. I'm just going to roll right up onto our sit bones, swing our legs around. Let's start with the feet, about hip distance apart. Take your hands underneath your hamstrings. So sitting nice and tall as best you can. A lot of men I know have some tight hips, so if you need to sit yourself on a block or a cushion to elevate your hips, please do. Inhale, hold the back of your legs, lift your chest. Think of squeezing shoulder blades together. And on your exhale, a little tuck in your tail, rolling off your sit bones. Round in your spine, so depress your rib cage, gently look down. And keep those shoulders nice and soft. And inhale to lift and arch your spine. And then an exhale to tuck, scoop, and round. Inhale to arch. And then exhale to round. Let's take one more. Just know that this will be layer 1. Feel free to be here. If not, we're going to add in a little bit of Pilates work here. So go ahead and grab whatever you're going to use today for some hand weights. 2 or 3 pounds is plenty. Even without weights, you'll still feel some work in your tummy. Palms are down. And on the exhale again, we're going to roll back. Try to keep the feet planted on the mat. And start to think of that muscle that's deep down. Right? So it feels when you're holding, when you have to go to the bathroom. It's a really good one. It tightens everything up, protects your back. Soft shoulders, soft elbows. Then you inhale, come right back up. Raise your arms to the sky. Good. Exhale, slowly rolling back. No rush. A little squeeze your bum to open your hips, and then inhale to stack back up tall. Let's go for 2 more. Last one. We're going to hold this one here. So we're holding, we're tucking the tail under us, drawing the ribs nice and tight, and now arms, scissoring again, soft through the elbows. Pilates breath, we're going to exhale through the mouth. blowing ourselves the air through the straw again. Good. There's no swinging of the arms. It's very controlled. So that when I move my arms, I'm not letting my spine move here. This is called the Pilates C curve. So your coccyx all the way to your base of your skull is a nice rounded spine. Last one here. We start back with the arms at shoulder height. We're doing little pulses. Those pulses are coming from kind of folding right at the pec line, trying to pull your rib cage over your belly. Go for 4 more. 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Good. Hold it here. Take a breath. Inhale through your nose, and then exhale softly round over. Let your arms relax by your shins. And then inhale, stack yourself nice and tall, one piece at a time. We can roll all the way down onto our back. So Emily, for you here, I would encourage you to be on all fours and just do opposite arm, opposite leg, reaching out and in. I think that being on your back today might not be the best choice, okay? So when you're ready, everyone, we're gonna tuck to that imprint, which means squish the grape on your back, pull the ribs in tight, float the legs up into tabletop position. Okay, we're gonna do a little head nod, curl all the way up. Keep those weights close by just in case. Hold the back of the legs, curl yourself up a little higher. Okay, left leg reaches forward, right leg stays in, hands on the side of the right knee. So this is where you can add in weight if you like. Keep the shoulders soft, shoulders still, and we exhale and switch. It's all about the leg that reaches forward. It's called single leg extension. So you're trying to move your legs without letting your back arch, without moving your shoulders, without moving your pelvis. So very stable. We're exhaling through that mouth, forcing out the air. We go for 4, for 3, last 2, and last one here. Release in, upper body comes down, and we take the feet down to the mat for a moment. Good. Release the weights. Choice for the next one is going to be either feet staying down on the mat or perhaps tabletop position again. So we do a little head nod. We're going to curl up. Low back presses down. We're going to reach forward. And imagine I'm pumping into 2 little basketballs on the floor. This is the Pilates 100. So the idea is that you're really energetic through your arms. You're going to breathe in and out. 5 counts for each inhale. Exhale for 5 counts. That's really pretty good. Those legs come into the air. You squeeze them together, or squeeze a block or towel between your knees. And then we're here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And the exhale, you draw in your pelvic floor a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Almost there. If the head is tired, you take your head down or hands behind your head and just hold still. Last 2. Last 1. Upper body comes down and you rest. Crossing your ankles, rock side to side a couple of times. Bring the soles of the feet together. Hold the front of the ankles. Use your elbows to gently open your knees a little wider. And just be here for a moment. Let the hip flexors stretch. Let the low back stretch. And from here, either holding the ankles, the shins, or if you can hold the feet, taking it to a happy baby. So happy baby, your feet are on top of your knees, your ankles are flexed, and you're using a little bit of bicep strength to pull down. The tailbone is nice and heavy. You tuck your chin, relax your shoulders. We're here for a few breaths. Happy baby is such a nice way to open the hips, stretch the back. Some people really love to rock their baby side to side. A couple breaths here. Another breath. And then cross into the ankles, we'll roll ourselves up. We'll roll to the side and come on up. We're going to meet standing. And we're just going to do a yoga tree pose today. So when you're ready, come into a standing position. All right. So spread the toes nice and wide. Let's balance on the left leg first. So when you're balancing on the leg, just think of a little squeeze of your bum, pushing your big toe into the mat. Just start to get really light on your right big toe. Without your hips moving, your hips are facing forward. Just doing a little bit of Pilates hip release first, just to kind of see how open we are in that right hip joint. A little bit of synovial fluid moving in the hip. Layer one, you will just open out to the side as far as you will go. Keep the toe lightly on the mat and the heel above the ankle. Tuck the tail, ribs pull in, and you're here. So that would be layer one of tree. That feels pretty good. Take the foot a little higher onto the calf muscle. So push foot into calf and calf into foot. It's all about pushing hips forward. So your two hips in line, two shoulders in line. Never press into the knee joint, please. Those of you that are a little bit more open in the body, you might be able to go higher than your knee into inner thigh. It's either inner thigh, calf, or on the floor. And thumbs at the sternum for prayer. If you have a lot on your mind, you need to ground yourself today. If you've got some energy, you have a big day ahead of you, maybe grow your tree. Here for 2 breaths. Okay. Let's come back to the heart. Very slowly, the knee comes forward and the foot comes down. So yoga and Pilates is actually a relationship between the two. So keeping the ribs pulled in here, even though it's a yoga pose, that's the Pilates rib cage principle. So we're keeping our ribs in line with our hips, using a little bit of oblique strength just to kind of keep the abdominals strong here. Doesn't have to be too tight. It's pretty subtle, but it's there. Let's do the right side. So right leg is strong and straight, left thigh bone in and out through the hip socket. Times. And then just be where you are. There's no perfectly still trees. Tuck your tail, give your bum a little squeeze. Maybe go a little higher to your calf muscle. So there's a relationship here between your foot and your leg. Some days are a little wobblier than others. No knee joint pressure, please. It's all the way up, above knee or below the knee. Push right big toe down, squeeze shoulders together, lift your chest. Tucking in the belly button. Just feel that little bit of balance, a little bit of focus. Sometimes I like to press my palms together, just really feel the heat in the palms. One more breath. If you've raised your arms into the air, go ahead and bring them back into prayer. Knees come forward and the foot comes down. Take one moment to put your hands on your hips and step out a little bit wider. I'd like you to go heels in and toes out. Don't go too wide with the feet or you'll fall over. And then just start to bend one knee at a time, shifting the hips side to side. Your body's going to lean forward slightly, and that's okay. Just keep your ribs gently in. And again, that deep transverse abdominis muscle, the corset. Yoga, that's your energy in your pelvis. It's known as a bandha or a lock. That's your Mula Bandha, which is your pelvic lock. And then from here, you might go a little deeper. Hands on your thighs. Maybe you send your tail back a little farther. Making our way towards the floor. You can't touch the floor today. Just use a block, a few books, whatever you can reach to get yourself close to the floor. Start to lift some toes, one at a time. Go slow enough that you can straighten each leg each time. Just finishing off with a nice stretch today before we make our way down. If that's feeling pretty good, you might take a moment on one side, go a little deeper. Maybe raising up the right heel as I bend the right knee, straightening out the left leg, pulling the left toes back. If this is too much, just keep going side to side and enjoy the stretch. Other side. So some people are able to keep their heel down of the bent knee. I know that that's not me, so I have to raise my heel up just for safety for my back of my ankle and for my knee. A pose called Tadasana. Take it back to center. Heels in line and toes can turn in slightly, so the feet are more parallel now. Take an inhale to raise the spine halfway. Again, you might use a block. And then exhale to fold. I'd like you to try to keep your legs quite straight here, so contract the quads, kneecaps. Body weight is more in the toes than it is in the heels. If you're really tight in the legs this morning, this might be where you stay. Just contract contracting the legs, just feeling that stretch in the back, making sure you can breathe. Feeling pretty flexible, pretty open today. Keep the body weight forward. Hands come in line with the arches of your feet. Elbows bend back. Straight, flat spine comes down. This is wide-legged forward fold. And eventually one day, straight spine might connect with your legs. Head might touch the floor between your toes in your mind's eye. Just take some breath. One more breath here. You start to look forward. Hands come in front of shoulders. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Heel toe your feet a little bit closer together. Exhale, hands to hips. Soften your knees. And then inhale, slowly make your way all the way up. Come to the top of your mat. So a playful way to make our way down. Not for everybody, please. So some of you just have a seat now. If you have a healthy back, nothing going on in the body, everything is pretty healthy and good, you might stretch forward and start to sit all the way down. See how far you can go before you get a little wobbly. Have a little fun with it. And eventually, we find the floor. Good. Feet hip distance, reaching forward, and we roll all the way down onto our back here now. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little love, rock side to side. Good. Let the left leg go down. Keep hugging the right leg in. And with your left hand, let that right leg move over towards the left side. Knee might touch the floor. It's okay if the hip lifts. Try to keep your right shoulder down. Right arm out to the right. You're going to gaze to your right side. Gentle twist here. Twisting is a really nice stretch in the hips, the shoulder, the rib cage. But it's also very detoxifying. You almost have to imagine like your torso is like a cloth and you're wringing it out. It's good for the liver, the spleen. One more breath here. And slowly make your way all the way back up. And hug the knees back into the chest. And this time we'll keep the left leg in and stretch the right leg out. Take a moment here. Right hand takes that left leg over to the side right. It's okay for that left hip to leave, but the shoulder we try to stay down. Gaze off to the left. Just take a couple deep breaths here. As you breathe, just try to imagine my hands wrapped around your ribs and you're taking a big breath into your rib cage here. All the way back to center. And then go ahead and take Shavasana here. Stretch out your legs, arms beside you, just like you started class today. Take your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your heart. And just breathe and feel. Feel the belly rise into your right hand. Feel your heart beat into your left hand. Feel free to close the eyes here for a few breaths. I'd like to be here for about a minute. A few more breaths. Not sure if you have heard of the enigmatic Persian poet named Rumi. He's one of my favorites. He has a lot of really great poems and quotes. One of my favorites is, "The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you, do not go back to sleep." I love that one. It just reminds me to try to get up early and start my day early and get things done. So much can be accomplished early in the morning, and especially where we live, we have this beautiful, beautiful mornings. Especially right now, it's very quiet. So if you look by the water, you can hear the birds, and you can hear the water. So we take this time and we try to use it really wisely. It sounds like everybody really is take a moment here just to have knees to chest. Roll to one side, make your way up to the seated position. No rush at all. We're a little bit over. We started a little bit late. I hope that's okay. Once you find a comfortable seat, just raise your arms into the air for a moment. Connect your hands to prayer. And just pull your hands to your heart. Bow your chin. Let your neck stretch. Bring the corners of your mouths up. And take a little smile. Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me in your homes today. From my heart to yours, namaste.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Great class. Thank you to everybody that came and joined. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel a lot looser and lighter today. So wishing you a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much. Hope you can join us for our next class. And Michelle, pure magic. Thank you for your light.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Michelle and Darren.
Have a beautiful day, and we'll message with feedback, and I'm going to get my laptop issues sorted out. But I hope you can hear me and see me okay.
That was perfect.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I'll probably see you next week.
Yeah, sure. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.